we gonna move on to the next topic. So, listen, attention, Generation Z. The world thinks y'all trash.
Bless y'all.
Oh my God! Wait, hold on. Let's not jump so far.
That's cold-blooded.
Listen. I didn't say it.
Who said it?
I didn't say that the world. Well, at least one woman in California.
Oh man.
A teacher in California high school says that Generation Z is less educated, more depressed, and without values compared to other generations. AKA Generation Z is trash. That's what she thinks.
Okay, wait. Can we identify, classify the age bracket for Generation Z?
You know,
it changes.
Look that up.
Every day.
I don't know. I don't know exactly what.
So Generation Z was born from 1996 to 2010. And that is from theactiveage.com. So Generation Z was born 1996 to 2010. Millennials was 1981 to 1995.
Oh.
Listen,
Generation and now we're in Generation Alpha. It's from 2011 to 2025. That's
Walt,
the real
that's you,
track.
right?
That's the real track. Oh.
Walt, that's you, right? Generation Z?
I'm millennial.
You millennial? You just made it.
92. 92.
Oh, you just made it.
But I like Generation Z.
Yeah.
Generation Z, how old are they right now? What are they like?
Generation's 96, so they're like short, like maybe about 8 years younger than us, me and you. So it starts 8 years younger than us in 2010. 2010.
First of all, before we get into this topic, just understand.
People were still having babies.
But understand this. These whole generation, this is division, people. This is division. They're dividing generations. So when you divide a generation, they don't get to relate to the OGs that came before them, because the OGs think, you understand what I'm saying? The OGs think a different way of y'all. See, this OG in the high school saying that y'all depressed and that don't have any class and all of this stuff. So,
but she's in high school, so she see it.
She's a high school. Huh?
Who gets to come up with the names? Like who said this what it's gonna be?
Question.
Generation Alpha.
The people. The people.
I just want to know that
Alpha wasn't really okay.
I hate. You know what? You say that, Clint. See, you know what's so funny? You say that, and remember when people were saying the same thing about, oh, you millennials,
right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like a consistent circle all the
but
time.
I literally feel like millennials, like we right in that fine line. Like we can appreciate what was, and we was right when everything was starting, like the beginning of the internet and like all that stuff. Like
we know encyclopedias.
Like
we know encyclopedias, and we know Google.
Boom.
We know how to research, but at the same time,
I just said to my baby the other day, in my day,
right.
That classified you being old.
Yeah, I was like, when I was a child, I didn't get like she was asking for money for the book fair, and I was like, they still do the book fair.
Hey, them Berenstein Bears. I used to get that book all the time.
I used to love the Berenstein Bears. Oh my God!
Yep.
I never felt poorer than I did when the book fair was there and I ain't had no money.
Yeah,
never felt.
I did have to scrape. Because you be that kid that be in line because everybody got to go to the book fair,
right?
And then they were all right. Everybody pull out your money and go pay, and then you ain't got the money to pay.
Or my mama forgot to leave it before she went to work. Oh
you
my
in the
God.
pencil section. You in the pencil section.
Man, I tell you, you right. You talking about my childhood right now.
But that was our life, like, you know what I'm saying, as millennials. So we were talked about that we were spoiled, that we didn't know how good we have it. We didn't know how, in my day we had to do this and we had to do that. But at the same time, like now, these kids now, they have it so easy. Life has been literally You don't have to do any research, literally.
Like, literally, do you know the post that I saw literally just the other day? They were like, kids today have it so easy that they get a text message on their phone letting them know that school's going to be closed. Our generation had to watch the news to see if our school came across the bottom. And
that anticipation, when it was alphabetical order. Come on, G.
Yeah.
Come on, G.
I was like, come on, say Raymond. Let's go.
Come on, Greg.
Say Raymond, please.
Get up, Greg. Come on.
Delayed open. I'm like, dang, I gotta go to school.
I was in the cab county, so when mine came out early.
I was sitting there like I was watching Craig fight. Come on, Craig. Come on, Craig.
But here's a question though, and I want to get to this post too because I just want to break this post down. But do you really think they have it hard? I mean, easy or maybe they have it so easy that it's hard on them.
There's so many different. This is a broad,
right? Because they can have it so easy that now life is harder on them because they have it so easy.
Let me just before you get to the post. Well, I'll let you get to the post and I'll tell you what I think about easy or hard because I just have one separate perspective.
Right.
Working in a school.
Mm-hmm. So look at this. It says the teacher claims that Generation Z is less educated. So we're gonna stop right there. First of all, ma'am, aren't you the teacher?
That's your fault.
Wow. No. I can't say that it's totally her fault because
it's not totally her fault. Teachers
got to go through a whole bunch of mess.
No.
They have to worry about a whole bunch of other different things. They just can't teach in class.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah.
But see, my thing is though. First of all, like I said, you're the teacher. But then, second of all, how is it that this generation is less educated when they have all the education at their fingertips?
But I think that's what she means. She's saying like they're lazy. Like I know, like I've always been told, like there's no reason for you to be like I don't know when you literally have a cell phone in your pocket. Like we literally have information right at our fingertips. So it's no reason to be like, oh, I don't know.
My perspective is different. I don't think she means educated as an intellectual. I think she means educated as in continuation of education, like college. You don't have to you don't have to go to, you don't have to leave your house anymore. It's more frowned upon. Like 4-year colleges is not even necessary anymore.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, are they smart to say, hey, I ain't going to college?
There's levels to this. Yes. I mean,
I'm not going to waste my money on college, which I'm not saying y'all don't quote me on. I'm just saying some people, college is not for everybody. I love college, but college is not for everybody.
But
and a lot of y'all wasting money out there.
One thing I have noticed is some people tend to be like, college is not for everybody, and they don't have a plan. Like that's the difference. Say college is not for everybody, but I want to go learn a trade. College is not for everybody, but I'm going to go like in the army. Like something they just be like, oh, college is not for everybody. So what you about to do? Oh, I don't know. I'm about to own my own business. Out of high school? That's what you're gonna do?
Yeah, literally people do. And they have the simplest plans. Like people with long nails. Somebody created a clipper that you can stick in your debit card.
I saw that.
Genius dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't have a plan, but I think that's what makes it so beautiful because to me, young people are very successful. Like these gamers that don't figure out how to play video games and get paid for it. They figured out how to create websites and create other people's Instagrams for them. They figure these things out that we literally are afraid to try.
Right.
And then not to mention, I would say some things they don't have it easier on because I was bullied before in school. You know what I'm saying? I was bullied. When I got home, I ain't had to worry about that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, like you're literally bullied for making a Facebook post, an Instagram post. You're literally bullied on your own social media. You're bullied from the time you go to school. You're bullied in school. Then people taking videos of you. Then you go home. Like it's different. It's different. And people are not afraid anymore. And teachers don't listen. And I feel like these kids now, it's just levels to it. My niece is like I had to ask her, I want my face to show up when when I got my cell phone so I could just hold it and it unlock. Even that, he had me do that. You know what I'm saying? They're valuable. They're valuable.
What do you think about this post? Because You almost made it. I'm just saying, you almost made it.
He's very smart, very educated.
But what do you think about this person putting a whole generation in just one post? You understand what I'm saying? Like to me, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that Generation Z is born in like, as far as like their access with technology and everything.
You're right.
Like the timing of them coming into, like when you think about kids born in like 2003 and 4, like kids that never had to deal with dial-up, or kids that never had to deal with like, you know, like what she was saying earlier, what Tay was saying earlier about waking up and having like to look up and see when your school was going to shut down or what's going on with it. It's real easy. Everything is very, very accessible. So I feel like the generation before, our generation, the millennials, or even the generation before that, I think we forget about how important it was for us to do certain things as a child. You know, to, instead of, you know, going on your phone, it was something like you said, to wake up, to check, and to make sure that you're doing those certain things. And like, make sure that you have your key. I can't just call somebody and make sure it gets taken care of. Like, you got to make sure you were more responsible. And I think that, like, Generation Z, like, they're still like a little brother. Like, I look at it in that time, and I feel like they're like, the stuff that they are doing as far as capital, being able to capitalize on like the internet and what they've done with it, technology and what they're doing with it, it's crazy.
Right.
So they got access to so much stuff, man.
Yeah. So I think it literally has to deal with like the generation before and like how that generation has helped this generation. I don't think it's necessarily just on them. Like, they just came out fresh. Like, nah. Like, obviously someone got to guide them. Someone got to get you there. And I feel like that is there's a disconnect with that, because we let technology do that for us.
Right. Trent, what you think, man?
I think it's we can't just, everything that this teacher said in this post, I don't think that we can just label this generation as all of that stuff. I mean, true, there's some things that, you know, that we see there's a difference how we were raised up and how they have access to so many different things. I think that they're dealing with a lot of things that we didn't have to deal with when we were younger. Like, they got access to everything. So that means this is the information age. They got access to all this information hitting them all at once, continuously. We didn't have that growing up. So they have to deal with a lot of stuff. Like, okay, we knew that, you know, stuff like around the world was happening, but we didn't get to see it firsthand. They get to see it firsthand.
Right, everything.
They actually had a chance to. We actually had a chance to see what the Twin Towers coming down.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
We had access to all of that stuff. We actually have to get a chance to see all the stuff happening in real time. But beforehand, no. I mean, it's a difference. So, you know, they go on their phones and they find out what's going on exactly right now.
Yeah, I think that I mean, when I look at this post, right, you know, I would, you know, I definitely these words, because, you know, I would feel like somebody's going to try to justify what she's saying, as in, like, you know, she's trying to be the person. I can't say it might be he or she, but the person is trying to, I guess, make a statement in a way where it's not hurtful. But this could be very hurtful. It could be very hurtful to a person, you know, that a young person. Like, you just can't say stuff like that. And that's what I mean when I talk about, like, division. You know, people divided. Like, you say stuff like, when you say stuff like this, now the wall builds up. You know, now the person, whoever's reading this, is like, man, y'all old people always trying to hate on us.
But it's kind of dumb if you think about it, because it's like you were saying before, whose fault is that? Because if we are the ones, we're sitting here like, yeah, when I in my day, and this is, we don't lend a hand to say. And I also feel like when Trim was saying that they have access, and Walt was saying they have access to so much, that's a blessing and a curse at the same time, because they also see and think when you watching certain, on certain feeds, what it takes to be, what it takes to be successful.
But I do also. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tay. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Just one more thing. What it takes to be successful. You have to be a rapper. You have to degrade women. You have to have a BBL to be beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So it's like so much to take in that can be depressing because you don't look like this, because you don't have that kind of money, because you don't have those clothes, because you don't have the new Yeezys. You can't afford Apple Music, so you can't listen to the new Drake. Whatever it is, like the world is so consumed with possessions and saying, like, for you to say that they are, less educated, these kids is barely out of school. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a lot. And I just feel like this post is so broad and it's no context. There's no scientific proof. There is nothing that says that this is because of this and this is why. And the statistics show, because you can't categorize every single person in Generation Z to the same standard. So I just feel like it's unfair.
Yeah. I mean, you got depression in here and you got without value.
I wanted to touch on that real quick. I wanted to touch on that part real quick. I work with people who are younger than me, who fall kind of within that bracket. I do feel like there is a sense of entitlement, and at times there's a lack of respect. I have literally seen like certain situations where they are talking reckless to someone that is old enough to be their mama. True. At work. Like, they literally to the manager, like, on the radio, "Nah, you got me fucked up." Are we not at work? Like, what? Am I the only person that is hearing this? Like, no. Like, and I get it, even if you're upset about something, like, it's just certain things that you just don't do at work. And that is from a point of just having respect for people that are older than you. Like,
that's just somebody that's disrespectful, though. That's
but I'm saying, like,
my generation was the same way, though.
I'm saying,
my generation.
You mean to tell me? My fault. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Walt. Go ahead, Walt.
No, I'm saying, like, you mean to tell me that wasn't going on when you was young? I'm saying, like, there's gonna be troublemakers is troublemakers.
I work and the cursing out.
I work where you work.
At work. Right, but the cursing out at work, I didn't see that. Me at work, when I was at that age working, let me say that. Like, I know I wasn't doing that like that. I wasn't pulling that. Like, it's just certain, because regardless of how you are, like, I'm still going to treat you with respect because you're older than me. Especially if you like my mama age, like, no.
I had a friend. I grew up in, like, when I went to my high school, it was this kind of high school, right? Everybody know what that means, right?
Right.
So I went to one of my friend's house, and I mean, she was cussing her mama clean slap out. The mama was like, "Well, I'm just doing what I think is right." Like compromising.
Nah,
we cannot categorize how these kids are raised, because a lot of these kids are raised by people who never grew up themselves. And then not to mention, these people really, you cannot categorize everybody, because my niece, one of the smartest people that I know, she doesn't feel like college is for her. I feel like college is for everybody. I personally do. Just some colleges, everybody should go for it. Exactly. Some people are wasting money. Exactly. I feel like it's for everybody, but you need to figure out what kind of college. Exactly.
Right.
Like Jay was saying. So I feel it's unfair to categorize the whole entire generation, because there are some disrespect. There are some honorable people. I work at a school. Okay? Those kids that have less than everybody else, those kids that don't have anything, those are the sweetest, most respectful kids. It's them kids that got every Xbox, that parents condone. Don't do my kid. You cannot chastise their children. You can't say anything to their children to uplift them. So the depression and the values, that is something that is based at home. That is not based on the whole generation.
Right. That's why the teaching does start at home, though.
Yes. Stop leaving it all up to the teacher. And I think that teacher just had a bad day.
I was just playing with the teacher part, though. But yeah, I was just playing by the teacher part. But teaching starts at home. Let me tell you. I'm gonna tell you a quick story, man. I'm gonna tell you how disrespectful my generation was. I remember it was a fight. See, I knew Trim was about to go out. I knew it.
Wait, what happened?
I knew he was going. I knew it.
Wait, everybody got real big. What happened?
I knew it. So quick story. So it was this girl, man. I'm gonna leave her. She a Facebook friend. I'm gonna leave my nameless, right? Right. So
Oh, there you
So
go.
she got into a fight, right? She got to like an altercation in the school. So she was like, "Watch, I'm gonna get my daddy. My daddy gonna come. He trained. He's a boxer. He trained boxers. He gonna knock you out." So my man was like, "All right, I'm gonna see you after school, right? Bring your daddy, and we gonna talk." Mind y'all, we in middle school, right? This is middle school. So, right. So we go to the back of the school, and her dad pulls up in a cab.
Not the cab.
Yeah, he driving the cab.
Was it yellow?
Oh, okay. Okay.
He
I
pulled
thought it
up.
was one of them Lincolns that was the name.
That's
Listen.
yellow cab.
Oh, it was a yellow cab?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he pulls up. He said, "Oh yeah, I heard because she had called them. She called them from the school. So I heard y'all had a problem with my daughter." Da, 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 da. So, dude, now mind this kid is short. He's short. He got 5 feet, maybe 5 feet, 5'2", somewhere in there, right? So he rolls up like, "Yeah, I got a problem with your daughter." She said X, Y, Z, 1, 2, 3, and I don't appreciate that. He said, "Well, you better not don't be talking to my daughter." Da, da, da. He said, "What?" Laid him out.
Who laid who out? Who laid who out?
Kid,
Girl, if y'all go.
the kid laid the pops complete.
Oh my
he in the
God.
swamp.
Why did he hit that old man?
Yo.
They can depend on your daddy.
Yeah, she
Yo.
said he was a boxer.
Right.
trainer.
Retired.
Molly Watson. I promise you, he hit the ground. And I don't know, he slumped on the cab.
You gonna have to withdraw me. Withdraw me from. I can't go to that school no more. Homeschool me.
That would be bad. I don't think you.
I can't go to that school no more.
Dang, that's messed up. Especially after she was talking all that hotness.
Right. We done beat up teachers. My generation done beat up teachers. They done did a lot of stuff.
That
That's
was
what
unheard of.
Bro,
Like,
I know
are you
y'all seen
kidding
Lean
me?
on Me. That's my
Right,
man.
you seen Lean on Me.
Oh, I love
You
Lean on Me.
talk that stuff, bro. You know what I'm talking. You seen Lean on Me. You seen
I love
old
that
boy.
movie.
You seen Kid Ray.
Kid Ray. They put him out. And I put
The
them.
dude that beat up Kid Ray.
I put them bastards.
Wait, whoa. What was it? How was it going?
Yeah. He was being
Yes,
fed.
it
I
was.
like,
And then they wheeled him out. He was all beat the brakes off of that man.
But hey, you know how she said it? Come on, they beating up Kid Ray.
Beating up that Kid Ray.
You know, they beat him up. That's a good example. Eastside High was a good example.
But look how Mr. Clark cleaned it up. Lord,
Right.
rest
Shout out to New Jersey.
that was the team. Now let's talk about that. That was a real person. That was a real story. That is
Right.
exactly what is the bigger picture. Instead of saying, "Oh, these kids are terrible," and write them off.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the Mr. Clark mentality. We have some great teachers out there. Shout out to all the teachers who are like really committed to the job and not the
Right.
paycheck.
My
You know
sister,
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they just basically they wrote them up.
But what
They
paycheck?
wrote it does.
Somebody
It
said
was-
what paycheck?
my
What
sister's a
patient?
notary. She been doing it for a while. She complained, but she get up every morning. She go put her best foot forward every morning. So shout out to her. And R.I.P. to Joe Clark.
R.I.P. to Joe Clark. I just would hate to have.
My wife was a teacher too.
Oh.
I would just hate to have somebody over my child that believes this about my child, has already made that in their thought in their mind that they're
before they even walk
hopeless,
in the class.
that they don't have
that's-
any values. That's not even speaking to the children. That's speaking to the parenting. Because that's the part that would get me. Somebody over my child for 8 hours a day that feels that this is exactly what my child is worth and what that before they even meet them. I just feel like that's just unfair.
Man,
I feel like that's unfair.
Right. Shout out to Generation Z. Listen, y'all, Generation Z, hit that
Keep
like
trying.
button, hit
Keep
that
trying.
subscribe button. Y'all do all of that too. I'm just saying, shout out to y'all, but hit
Show
that
me you
subscribe
real.
button. Yeah, hit
Show
that
me you
like button. Right. Show us you representing. You know, hit that like button, subscribe button, hit that bell, do whatever you need to do to support this podcast. You know what? We support you.
Yes.
We support you.
Yes. I'm very passionate about
We
y'all.
support you.